Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Morgan and bid you all welcome back to Gothic 2. Notice that we're in leather clothes again. We're at the barracks again. Yeah, I wasn't really feeling the mercenaries. I kind of feel like I wanted to switch factions again. That's just a joke. I'm going to say one more time, for everybody's sake, that the mage playthrough is going to be the main playthrough, and that I'm only doing the occasional video for the other factions when it is appropriate, because I'm doing that in lieu of entire walkthroughs for both factions. And, you know, wherever appropriate, I'll tell you kind of the best practices for building a character for really whatever kind of build you're going for. There's not really a whole lot of customization with that kind of thing, but when it comes to setting up a character for one-handed weapons, two-handed weapons, bows, and whatever, there really aren't any hard and fast rules. I know I'm not the best when it comes to two-handed weapons, so the mercenary playthrough might be a bit less educated, but I will be going mainly bow with this character, I think, which is going to be interesting. The only real combat skill I cannot recommend is crossbows, because there's just no way to get them to work as effectively as any of the other weapon skills, because crossbows, while they require strength to equip them, they actually use dexterity in their damage calculations, which makes them a lot less effective than bows, because you have to invest in two different stats in order to actually use them. The trade-off is that they usually have a bigger gap between the damage, the base damage, and the required strength. So if you have 90 strength, you can equip a crossbow that deals 120 damage. But that doesn't really make up the difference. If you have a lot of strength but no dexterity, you're still only doing base damage with them. So bows just have a higher capacity in the end. So, like I said, we are going to be joining the militia this time, and their barrier for entry is just to become a citizen of town, but they actually have the most opportunities to find different ways to meet their conditions. We already got one from Lord Andre to deal with a Thieves Guild, which is not what I'm going to go through with, because you want to keep them around for later. But there is actually a third option if you were to ask Laris for help after seeing Vatras for assistance in joining a community. But we didn't do that either, unfortunately. I wish I had shown that, but since I reloaded the save that we got from preparing to join the monastery, this is what we left with. So, no matter, we are ready to join.
I'm ready to join the militia.
Then you are a citizen of Corinus?
Bosper the Bowmaker has taken me on as his apprentice.
Then you also know something about living in the wild. That is good, because the militia has assignments not just within the city walls. We can certainly use people who know their way around in the wilderness. And the Bowmaker is an important man in the city. If he vouches for you, there's nothing standing in the way of your acceptance into the militia. You can join us if you wish, but your decision will be final. Once you wear the armor of the militia, you cannot simply take it off and no longer belong to us. Are you prepared to fight together with us for Innos and the king?
I always find it interesting, their excuses for why you cannot join another faction after you join. I really don't think there would be anything preventing you from leaving the mercenaries to join the monastery, for example, but that's kind of one of the options they get, one of the things that happens, so it's just to avoid any awkwardness if you're trying to switch factions early on.
I'm ready.
Then so shall it be. Welcome to the militia. Here is your armor. Wear it with pride and dignity.
Oh, I shall not wear it with pride because it looks a little goofy. But no matter.
Can I finally see Lord Hagen now?
You are now in the service of the Paladins. They will let you in, but you had better have something important to say.
Don't worry, I do.
Remember that you are meeting the Chief Paladin. Behave yourself accordingly. You represent not only yourself now, but the entire militia.
Will I get a weapon too?
Of course. Peck usually takes care of that. But it occurs to me that I haven't seen him for quite a while. Find out where he's hiding and bring him here. Then he will give you a weapon. And if you want to sleep, you can lie down in one of the beds in the bunkhouse.
I'm not done with you.
Have you got an assignment for me?
Lately, there's been an increase in the sale of swampweed in the city. We cannot allow this stuff to catch on. Otherwise, everyone here will start smoking and no longer be able to work, let alone wield the weapon. Particularly now that there is a danger of a possible attack by orcs or mercenaries. I suspect that the mercenaries are behind it. I bet they are bringing the stuff into the city.
What is there to do?
Mortis, one of our men, heard in the harbor inn that a package of swampweed has arrived somewhere in the harbor district. Look around down there and bring me the package.
Well, we've already found the package, but it has made it into someone else's hands.
About the package.
Have you found it?
I threw it into the harbor basin.
So? Well, the main thing is that it can no longer fall into the wrong hands. Here is your pay.
So I haven't checked it. I really should have checked it before we got this far, but I don't believe the reward that you get is any different for not having the package to hand over, but I think you get less XP. But that's compensated by the fact that we get quite a bit from Cypher by handing it over. So definitely best to kind of pull the wool over Andre's eyes with that.
Have you got another job for me?
You have taken the package of swampweed out of circulation. Good. But I would like to know who is distributing the stuff among the people. It must be someone in the harbor district. If someone regularly came from outside the city, he would have been caught some time ago.
What exactly am I to do?
Find the dealer and get him to sell you some weed. That will not be easy, but we cannot arrest him otherwise. Talk to Mortis. He knows the harbor district. Perhaps he can help you.
So set up a classic sting operation, hey? And actually, I don't know why it didn't even occur to me. Andre was not at all suspicious that we already had an answer for the weed package before we even left the room.
Have you got another assignment for me?
Lobart the turnip farmer has problems in his fields. If we help him, it will solidify his relationship with the city. So go to him and see what is wrong.
Oh, good old Lobart. Well, hopefully at this point he won't be mad at us for stealing his clothes.
Will you tell me now why you paladins have come to Corinus?
Now you belong to the city guard. Therefore, you are also subordinate to the paladins. Now, I can take you into my confidence. We have come on a mission from King Robar. With the collapse of the barrier, the deliveries of ore have failed. Therefore, we are getting the ore and bringing it to the mainland. With the ore, we shall forge new weapons and drive the orcs back.
Good to know. Now, I can't remember. We'll head down to the harbor and talk to what's-his-name, the shipbuilder, Garvel. I can't remember if Lord Andre's information will satisfy him, but we can get the same information from Lord Hagen if it doesn't. So we'll give that a test as we run around.
What about the missing people?
What about them?
Well, shouldn't we try to find them?
Lord Hagen gave me orders to protect the town and the surrounding farms. That means that we're taking care of the people who are still here. The militia patrols the streets at night. That's all I can do. And you will take care of the tasks I give you. Understood?
I find it hilarious that the militia is really supposed to be the champions of law and order and safety and protection around here. And yet they have absolutely no interest in trying to find out why people are disappearing. You know, without even having a motive or a reason or any idea where they've gone, how can you continue to protect the citizens? You don't even know where it's starting. So, and they have no idea that the Ring of Water even exists and is looking into it for them. So them and the monastery are basically taking no measures whatsoever to protect the population. And really, all of this is down to the fact that Piranhabytes couldn't have, gone all the way around. Since the Missing Citizens was a questline fabricated for the purposes of the expansion, they couldn't really go too far in involving all the other factions, even the authorities that make sense to get involved. So instead made up a whole new one for it, because apparently that was a lot easier. So you notice Wolfgar's trying to talk to us. He can't talk to us because all the militia guys are flagged to reprimand us if we're not in uniform.
So Lord Andre accepted you. I expect you to come here and train regularly. Ruga will train you in the art of the crossbow, and Mortis will help you to increase your strength. But the most important thing is for you to learn to handle your sword properly. I'll make a good fighter of you yet.
Now, what's interesting is that the militia only teach you sword fighting, strength, and crossbows. Unlike the militia, who actually teach you bows and dexterity as well. So if you join the militia, you have to find another teacher for those things. Luckily, in town, we have Bartok for bows and Lares for dexterity. So, well, we had to talk to Mortis for information. We also have to track down Peck, the quartermaster, or the weapons provision master, whatever they're called.
Hey,
What do you want? Peck isn't here, so you can't get anything. Come back later.
Later.
where's Peck?
You just started with us, huh? Well then, welcome to the team. Peck's been in the city a really long time. I bet he's hanging around that sweet Vanya in the Red Lantern.
Ooh, sweet Vanya.
What do you know about the Harbor District? I want to find the one who's selling the swamp weed.
Well, the guys down there really don't talk much, and they're guaranteed not to say anything to one of the city guard. If you want to learn anything down there, you should... No, you have to take off your armor.
All right, and then?
The tavern and the brothel are probably the best places for you to go. If you're gonna learn anything, then you'll learn it there.
Sounds good. So, like I said, my focus this time around is going to be on bows mainly. And we will learn one-handed weapons in order to kind of back it up, because bows, unfortunately, are not, until later on, are difficult to use as a kind of primary weapon, just because of damage and range limitations when you don't have enough skill. And so we do need to back it up with some one-handed weapon skills, and just using this shitty little militia sword is not really gonna carry us very far.
Hey, you up and join the militia, huh? Not that I care, just as long as besides orcs and bandits, you hunt a few wolves as well.
Now that actually makes sense. Him, like, demanding that we continue to work for him while we're a novice doesn't make much sense, because joining the monastery is really supposed to be a lifelong commitment. Joining the militia is kind of like a volunteer force in a way. They're meant to be sort of a citizen army of sorts, therefore, you know, when you're off duty, you're kind of reporting to your day job.
I've got a few skins for you.
What the hell is
I
this?
did not mean to sell that
I
shit.
ripped the troll off for that one.
That is worth a small fortune. And the hide of a black troll at that. Good work.
I still needed to give that to Raoul, but I completely fucked that up. Oh well. I'm not going to be that fussy about it.
Show me
So, we will... I mean, if you want to buy it back, you can still do Raoul's thing. He does give you more money in the end, but... Although, to be fair... Actually, we can just buy it back and then sell it back to him. Didn't even occur to me. We're just giving him back the same money he paid us, so that works out just the same. All this time, I was being so careful not to sell it to him.
Tell me you didn't know that.
And that didn't even dawn on me. Alright, well, so be it. Now, before we deal with the weed dealer down here, there's actually something I want to do, because it's gonna save us a little bit of money before we try and get involved in that business, because this can end up being pretty expensive. You get your money back from Lord Andre once you complete the quest, but there's a little bit more to be gained by doing something else first. The little freebie that was introduced with Night of the Raven, but it's a reward that I haven't shown you for dealing with some of the bandits later on, so we'll take care of that first. But actually, I want to go through the whole thing to join the Ring of Water pretty soon, just to have it all taken care of. So all of that will probably happen in a little quick flash forward. So be ready for that.
Hey, you!
You're in the militia now.
Sure am.
I'm gonna laugh myself sick. A former convict in the militia. Only you could pull something like that. You won't blow the whistle on me about working for Lee, will you?
But you know me.
That's not really a convincing answer. I mean, I've double-crossed people on a couple occasions.
That's what I've always said.
Teach me.
So, we want dexterity. Now, I'm a little bit confused. Hang on. Whoa, what happened?
Who says things like that?
I'm very confused. What did I do in my
For everybody.
mage playthrough that got me an extra 10 dexterity?
And he
Oh,
was
that's right, I did the shrines. Okay. Yeah, I'm being a Dorcas. I haven't done the shrines yet on these characters because I want to save that for later.
Hey.
So, I just noticed while I was doing a test stream, or setting up the next
really
recording for the mage playthrough, I noticed I had 20 dexterity and I couldn't really figure out why.
Teach me.
Now I realize I'm an idiot.
That's terrible.
So same trick that we did learning skills
That's not what I heard.
last episode.
If I hadn't seen it,
We want to get just to the cusp of the next
say.
cost,
I won't tell her.
You've already...
or the next rank. So every 30 points, every 30 points is when it kind of has a soft cap or diminishing returns on your LP investment. So that's
Hey,
what we want to
you.
be careful with.
Like that.
And if you
Teach me.
invest 5 points when you're right at that threshold, and then you get
If I
the
hadn't seen it with my own
you get the extra 4 at the original cost,
and it's gonna get even worse.
which is very helpful. So that puts us at 35. Let's get to 40. I want to invest more in bow skill. Unfortunately, stats do not do the same trick that weapon skills do, where once they're 25 points apart, then you start learning the other skill every time you level up the higher one. Stats don't do that, so we want to do bow skills. I want to get it up a bit. 40 dexterity. We can get a couple rings and possibly a belt to really bump our dexterity so we can equip some good bows now without having to spend more LP this soon. And that's the nice thing about jewelry, of course, is that that's not permanent, so you don't have to worry about, the problems of using potions and stuff too soon.
Hey,
Here I am again.
Sure.
So, next, I think, once we hit chapter 2, I think he gets the, gets a belt of dexterity. So let's go talk to Lord Hagen real quick, and as I said, we're just going to fast forward through it.
Got my own
So, stand by.
Halt! Only men who are in service to the king may enter the town hall.
I am a member of the militia.
All right, you can go in.
So, we're given a little less respect being a militia member than we were as a fire
I've already
mage.
heard of you. Lothar has reported that you wish to speak with me. You are the stranger who has demanded the Eye of Innos. I am Lord Hagen. I have much
The hosts of evil.
in the valley, but what draft?
But
Chris, if
Does-
the
then-
you,
what?
I,
I'm looking for a metal or...
if you,
So I'm going to skip this dialogue because I meant to actually see if Garvel takes the information from Lord Andre instead.
I want to take up service with the Order.
to be a warrior of Innos means to devote yourself entirely to the cause of Innos. Only the noblest and bravest warriors are accepted into our order. If you are truly determined to become a paladin, you must prove that you are worthy.
How can I prove myself worthy?
Your deeds will show whether you are worthy. We fight for freedom and justice in the name of Innos. We fight against Beliar and his henchmen who want to destroy the just order of Innos.
I understand.
You understand nothing at all. Our honor is our life, and our life is Innos. A paladin goes into battle praising Innos, and many of us have lost our lives on the altar of the eternal strife between good and evil. Every single one of us has committed himself to this tradition. If we fail, we tarnish the deeds of our fallen comrades. Only he who truly understands this is worthy of being a paladin.
How do you define whether or not somebody truly understands? So it's actually a bit funny. We'll find out in Chapter 3.
Tell me that is
Apparently, what exactly he finds to be a worthy deed to join.
Hey, you, wait a minute.
Yes. So, actually, I think I skipped through that last time as well. Fernando, if you are not a Fire Mage, if you are a Fire Mage, he promises you a blank runestone for coming back with information from the valley. He offers a ring of life energy to the other two factions. But what I was going to say is, when we become a paladin later on, slight spoiler alert, surprisingly enough, holding up to our bargain and getting authority to bear the Eye of Innos apparently is not a worthy enough deed. Being a chosen of Innos is not a worthy enough deed to become a paladin.
There you are again.
It's a little bit funny. So there we go. Belt of skill plus a ring of dexterity. So with those two, we should have 50 dex for now. I think I'll invest whatever's left into bow skill and just stick with the 50 dex. We can get rid of that. We have dex. Guess we'll do iron skin. There's some other rings floating about that actually offer quite a bit of protection and HP. So we'll probably pick up one of those on a run around. But for now, what bows do you have for 50 dex? Okay. Might need to bump it to 60. I do not have a good memory to remember kind of what I'm looking for at each turn. I don't know what the hell I'm trying to say. When I'm leveling up skills, I don't really know what I'm looking for next unless I research it ahead of time. A lot of people can remember that on repeat playthroughs and be like, okay, yeah, I need to get to 60 dex to equip this or whatever. I can't remember that shit because I am the dumb. But before we do that, let's go talk to Bartok. I want to get at least to 40. That's not really going to work. I want to get at least to 40 bow. And try and get the remaining dexterity. We don't really have enough. It's going to take 20. It's going to take like all 50 just to get to 40 bow skill.
Hey!
Just kind of where I want to be.
I want to...
Okay, then.
So, again, 5, 10, 15. That gets us to 25. Get to 29. 34. 35. What's that leave us with? 29. Ooh. If I leave it there, I can get to 60 dex, and I think that's worth it.
Can you make...
Yes.
How much?
For a pop.
Tell me about the...
All right, son.
I can't remember if we did... I think we did this as a mage.
A mercenary. He will lead you a terrible murder. I, a sinister henchman. They are coming, searching for you. A guardian will fall, but the three shall unite. Within shall you receive what is yours. That's all. There's no one can see.
Well, very enlightening, my friend.
Hear ye, inhabitants of Corinth.
So we are at 50, though, which means we can equip this now. So if we did want to invest in some one-handed skill, we could at least get the master rank. Or, journeyman? Fighter? I think it's fighter. Let's go check in on Garvel.
Hey, you!
Aha!
I know why the paladins are here.
Really? Tell me.
The Paladins are here to get the magical ore from the Valley of Mines, not because they expect the orcs to attack the city. As soon as they've got the ore, they're going to return to the mainland.
Thanks for the information. The way it looks, we have all the time in the world for building our ship.
Well, good for you. Hopefully you get out of here ere long. So that's good to know. Lord Andre's information does in fact work. Not that it's that important, because we can get the same information from Lord Hagen. So anyway, I'm going to go through the rigmarole of joining the Ring of Water, so don't be alarmed in a quick jump cut when I'm wearing that armor instead. And then we will do what I said earlier to make our investigation of the weed dealer a little bit cheaper. Okay, so y'all should be familiar with where we stand right now. This is one of the bandit camps. Or, you know, this is Dragomir's camp. And down there is the bandit camp that we're looking for. Picked up a new bow on the way, ended up getting to 60 dex. There's the composite bow, which, take a look at. Seems to have a bit of a condition. It's actually a really annoying bug that this particular bow model has, where for some reason the bowstring periodically gets erect. And that's true of another bow. I forget which one it is, but it uses the exact same model. So this just keeps happening over and over again. That's actually why I unequip this bow anytime I'm not about to use it, because it is a little disconcerting. But this should be enough to deal with these banditos down here. Off screen in the Mercenary playthrough, I actually went and got a summon skeleton spell to deal with them, because it turns out that thing lays waste to these guys pretty easily. But I'd figure I'd show you how I accomplished it this time. Easiest way, there's one archer, but the easiest way is to take cover here. I don't know why I keep saving. The easiest way is to take cover behind this tent so that he can't actually shoot you.
I'm gonna lick you.
Ow! Like that. Well, if we can out damage him at least. One of those idiots... Oh no, there's a second archer. One of those idiots, unfortunately, has gotten himself into the tent, so he's going to be a little fussier to deal with. If we can get the archer to approach a little bit closer, and make sure we hit him, because his range kind of outclasses ours a little bit. He is not moved, though. Let's give it a shot. Maybe we're about equivalent in accuracy. Or not, because I can't seem to land a single shot. So we do need him to get closer. I don't know if he's going to cooperate. He seems to like standing where he's standing. Yeah, he's just staying right there. What an asshole. Used a rock for cover. I think we can shoot over it. Yeah, we can, but he can't actually see us there. Oh, here comes that guy. Yeah. So, bows in point-blank range don't tend to actually connect, because if the enemy's like right in front of you, the arrow actually starts shooting from behind them, so it doesn't actually collide. So, that's why bows in point-blank range are not that useful. Luckily, line of sight for your shots versus line of sight for their actual, like, targeting seem to work a little bit differently. But anyway, that's what we were looking for, that gold bowl. Bromore's golden bowl. Because that fellow is actually slightly involved with the weed dealing. And that's a little way we can spare ourselves the cost of bribing him for information. So, I will see you there shortly. So it's very important to remember that Mortis told us if we're going to look for the dealer down here, we cannot have our armor on. Because people will not want to talk to us if we're clearly an arc. Said to ask around the tavern.
You're involved with the gang. All right. In that case, I've got something for you. If you ever need some lockpicks, come to me. I still have a few around. Just ask me for something to drink.
On the subject of lockpicks, it's actually good to know that if you invest in dexterity, you're actually less likely to break lockpicks if you fail a combination.
I need information.
So that can spare you some cost.
Where can I buy weed here?
Certainly not here.
All right, where then?
I'd talk to Meldor if I were you. After all, he smokes all day.
So I don't think that cost us anything, interestingly enough. Even though he supposedly charges for information, given we had to haggle his cost with him.
Do you know where I could buy some weed?
If I were you, I'd try my luck in the Red Lantern.
Well, they're not shy about name dropping people, or at least locations, when it comes to their illicit dealings.
Do you know where I could buy some weed?
No, piss off.
Well, this young lady seems to be smoking some of it herself.
Hey, I can't take care of you now, baby. Talk to Bromar if you want to have some fun. But that's terrible.
Alright, well, I just had a question. Didn't want to have any fun.
It was his decision.
I found the dish that Lucia stole from you.
Great! High time I got it back.
No idea. You tell me.
Don't you want to know what became of Lucia?
No, why? I've got the dish back, haven't I?
Well,
I am
not yet.
married
It's still in
without
my hand.
Lucia so far, and I will in the future. Why would I try to make her come back, huh?
And that's the truth.
What about a reward?
You get to have a good time with one of my girls for free. What do you say, huh?
I'm staying.
You know, as nice as that is, I would rather just have money, but unfortunately that's the only thing he will ever agree to.
Agreed. Here's your dish.
Thanks. Go to Nadja. She'll accompany you upstairs. Huh? Yeah.
Jesus. I never, stopped to listen to that line.
Can I get special goods here too?
Sure. All my girls are very special.
This guy's
If
such a
you
creep.
have enough gold, you can go upstairs with Nadja.
Do the work.
Alright, so he doesn't get the hint.
Hey,
But now I have a chance to talk to you. So that spared us. He only charges 50 gold for his lady's services.
where can I buy some weed around here?
Leave me alone. That's not what
Well, geez, I just paid for you.
Let's go upstairs.
Today's your lucky day, baby. Let's go.
That's not what my husband thinks.
Well, that looks like somebody we're down here to find, but we're chasing other leads right now.
And he works all day too.
So we'll talk to him once we're done here.
You just have to listen.
Now, I assure you, this is strictly for business. We're on very important... We're out doing the king's work here. Nothing
Always said.
illicit will go on. We're only here to bust criminals.
Known better.
That's an open secret.
That was no big deal.
You don't say.
Nobody wants to know.
Where can I buy some weed around here?
If you want me to tell you something, you'd better part with a few gold pieces.
How much do you want?
50 gold pieces should do the trick.
God, everyone wants 50 gold for everything.
Now tell me where I can buy weed.
Talk to Borka, baby. He'll have some weed for you.
Really? He just told me to piss off. Well, alright then. We'll go have a word with him.
And that's the truth.
Because we got work to do.
I won't tell her a thing from now on.
But you know, I could stand to take a load off.
You should really have known better.
The next couple of hours belong to us. It's time for you to relax, lie back, and enjoy.
I used to say that myself.
You know, it's kind of funny to think that the only reason this game got an M rating in the US is pretty much for the scene, because this is the only thing that is more explicit in this game than in Gothic 1, is the fact that this scene occurred. But remember, kids, if you're gonna have a roll in the hay, with a lady of the night. Don't forget to wear protection.
It broke!
These are bad times.
Well,
I used to say
shit.
that myself.
Hopefully we can find a way off this island in the next 9 months.
That's terrible.
But anyway,
I couldn't care less.
we actually need to have this fellow head back to the barracks.
A soldier wears the armor of the king, not something else. So go change.
I don't know how you knew who we were, but you're kind of blowing my cover here with that insistence.
Hey, it's time to hit the road.
What do you want? Can't you see I'm busy?
I need a weapon, so come back to the barracks.
Damn it, your weapon can wait.
Come on, Andre's already missed you too.
Damn. Okay, I'm coming already. But when you report back to Andre, don't tell him I was here.
Oh, your secret is safe with me, because I think we can both incriminate each other here. Very important if you do that. Whoops, I almost stepped on the young lady's head. If you do that, make sure you take your armor back off before talking to Borka. Otherwise, you've blown your cover.
I've heard you're selling weed.
Says who?
Do not name drop Nadja, because that will permanently fail this quest. If you tell him who you heard it from, he's just gonna say, oh, they're not, reliable, they're just putting a flea in your ear or whatever. You gotta be stubborn with this fellow.
That's beside the point.
I just want to know who sent you so I can be sure you're all right.
So, do you want to cut a deal or not?
All right. Let's make a deal. You give me 50 gold pieces, and then you'll get your weed. No haggling.
Weed.
Let's make a deal. Here's the gold.
All right. Here's a fresh, resinous stalk of weed.
Weed. Resinous. 50 gold for a single joint seems a little steep. Then again, I don't really know the street prices these days. Well, we got what we need. And the joke is on you, my friend. Ho ho! You don't know what you're in for. Now you notice that Larry's actually hasn't made it back to town yet. That kind of gave me some alarm the other day when I pressed on ahead a little bit with the Mercenary character, just in preparation of future episodes. But I noticed Larry's and Cord weren't showing back up where they were supposed to be, and I thought there was a bug, but I forgot that what actually happens is, for some reason, they're scripted to stay in the tavern until you report back to Vatras. Don't really know why, but it seemed to just be either they just set the flag on that for some reason for them to all return, or they wanted, for some reason, to make sure that you report back to Vatras before you move on with anything else. So that's all that is. Now, Peck, I don't think actually makes it back. No, he does, but Peck actually doesn't talk to you until you tell Lord Andre that he has returned. So it's very important that you be careful what you tell Andre. So even though he's back and could give us a weapon, he just won't talk to us. Because what he gives you depends on whether or not you keep his cover. Now, I cannot actually remember if there's an XP difference between being honest or covering for him. So let's test that.
I've managed to track down Peck.
Yes, he's already back at his post and going about his duty. Where did you find him?
He was in the Red Lantern.
So, he's hanging around with the girls instead of doing his duty. I believe I shall have a few words with him.
So I actually think it's the same XP. Pretty sure you get 100 either way. The only difference is you get a worse sword from him. But let's just see how pissed off he is.
I've come to get myself a weapon.
I haven't forgotten you. Who told Andre that I was in the Red Lantern then? And now you want a blade from me. All right, you'll get a blade. Here. And now drop dead. If you want a better weapon, then go to the merchants in the market.
He gave us the shittiest one that he's got. So that is why you don't do that. So now, whoops. Huh. Oh, that was weird. Let's stick to the bro code then.
I've managed...
Yes,
He crossed my path in town.
Oh, okay.
Right.
No, we do
then
get
go
half
to
the
him and
XP.
get yourself a weapon.
Now, there's something I actually want to test, if possible. I was looking at, I don't know how to pronounce it. There's like a wiki, like the most in-depth wiki for these games. And for some reason, they mention getting the ruby blade from Peck in Chapter 3. And it makes me wonder if you postpone getting a weapon from him until Chapter 3, do you get a better one, or is that just a mistake on the part of the wiki makers? So I might just leave this open and test that.
I've come to get myself a weapon.
Well, look who's here. Our new comrade. And he wants a sword. You didn't tell Andre I was in the Red Lantern. You seem to be okay. Here, take your sword. It's the best that I have. If you want a better weapon, then go to the merchants in the market.
So that last line is the same either way for some reason. But the better sword that it gives you is this fine sword, which is a fine sword indeed. The nice thing about it is it gives you bonus weapon skill. But so does this one, so it's not too bad. But that takes 50 strength. It does 60 damage, so we outclass that in base damage right now. And since our strength really isn't going anywhere, it's all the same. So, like I said, I'm actually going to leave that open just because I want to see what happens in Chapter 3. I doubt it's going to be any different. Might not even get a sword for all that time we waste. But it's worth a test.
About that weed. I know who's selling the weed in town. It's Borka, the doorman at the Red Lantern.
Indeed? Do we have proof?
He sold me some swamp weed.
Fine. That's enough for us. I shall have him arrested at once. Here is your pay.
So you're taking my testimonial and the fact that I just happen to have weed on me. I could have just been turning any old chump in. I might even be covering for the real dealer. Man, they do not have high standards for evidence back in the day. Justice is indeed blind. So the only other thing we got from the militia, which is actually we only get 3 quests from them. 2 of them related to the weed dealings in town, and one of them to assist Lobart. And other than that, that's all we get for quests, which is still more than we get for being a mercenary. But either way, it beats all the chores we had to do in the monastery, so at least it feels like we're making a difference in the world. So let's re-equip this. And we'll just show you how, even though having the improved weapon doesn't really make a difference, since we're not landing any critical hits, all that extra damage isn't really coming into effect. I've discussed it before, but just as a refresher, your melee damage for a non-critical hit, it's not exactly 1/10 of the damage plus your strength, but it's close enough. It's just about that. I think it's like 1/10. What the hell is it? I don't know why I care that much. It's your strength plus the weapon damage divided by 10 plus 1 with a minimum of 5. Something like that. Oh, and pro tip, apples, if you eat enough of them, actually give you a +1 bonus to your strength. So don't start devouring them because you might want to save those for later. So you see why I actually don't really like the side-to-side swings, particularly with low weapon skill. They're just so much slower. There's more of an opportunity to misclick and time your combos wrong. And you also can't do the back step while you're still in the recovery from the swing, like you can with the normal forward combos. So that is one of the reasons why I dislike. So anyway, there's a noticeable lack of farmers in Lobart's fields, and a noticeable increase in field raiders. So that's probably what his problem is.
Andre sent me to you. Is there anything I can do for you?
Yeah, sure. Those damn field raiders are making me sick. Do them all in. I don't care how.
Alright, well, preferably by killing him. So the funny thing is, we can still buy his clothes from him, but he's not accosting us for stealing them. I don't think that script to buy the clothes ever actually goes away.
Is there any interesting news?
These huge, disgusting plague beetles are becoming a real nuisance. They're everywhere. They'll eat everything in sight if you don't watch out. A few days ago, I was lying in the grass, minding my own business, just about to doze off, and one of those damn things was chewing on my shoe. You should have seen me run. Since then, I haven't been able to sleep in peace.
He wouldn't have done a whole lot of running if he finished chewing your foot off. That'll teach you to fall asleep on the job, though. I don't think Malith has anything to say about this. Nope. So whatever. We'll do in the field raiders. I wonder if we do enough damage in a single bow shot. Yes, we do. Sweet. That makes things nice and easy. So you notice that my shots there, for some reason, were still hitting the field raider when it's dead, because they actually still have collision with missile weapons up until the moment that their death animation stops. So that can be quite annoying if you're trying to shoot at a group and one of them standing behind something that's still dying. So even with 35 skill in bows, we have a decent range. I don't exactly know how the range determination works, since it's not really like a linear scale, since part of it is chance-based and part of it is based on distance. So I don't know really how it comes into play. I've never seen a formula for it, and I'm not sure anyone's been able to figure it out.
I've done away with the things.
Well done. Well, you're not a bad exterminator. I'll recommend you around. Here, take this as payment.
Oh, you flatter me, and I apologize for the awkward gesture that my bow is making. I don't know who he's going to recommend us to. He doesn't have any neighbors.
Hey, you!
I'm sure you have enough money to buy yourself something in town.
Well, I don't. I'm broke. I work for the government. Right, so that's about it for militia work. We'll just turn this back into Lord Andre. Now, one thing I wanted to say, actually, I meant to double check this and I completely forgot. I don't think, when it comes to forging weapons,
Believe everything you hear.
a lot of people might... what am I trying to say? Like, if you join if you join Herod as an apprentice, he can teach you to forge a lot more weapons than just about anyone else can. But he is not the only source of learning that stuff. Bennett can actually teach you basic swords, the easiest ones. And if you're a mercenary, he can also teach you a handful of magic ore weapons as well. Bennett, as far as I know, does not teach you magic ore weapons. Unless the Ruby Blade and El Bastardo count as one. I think those are the only two he teaches you. But there are some characters in later chapters who will teach you those. I think there's one in the Valley of Mines who can teach you at least one kind of ore weapon. So if you do want to learn how to forge, you still have a chance with them.
There you are again. Harrod has finally finished that damn assignment for the Paladins. That means that I can now offer you some new weapons. Are you interested?
Show me your wares.
So, if you do want this belt in order to improve the protective value of your militia armor, there it is. I don't know why he sells it, but I guess because militia guys themselves don't have a weapons merchant. So unfortunately, a lot of his weapons are still out of our class. And nobody has bows. Now this is something I keep forgetting to do in the main playthrough. You need this. We got one from Sagita out in the woods, but you're going to need a second one. I guess you don't really need one. You need at least one. But it helps to have them both. Oh, good old fire bow. So, let's report this in. And I think that's all we got left to do today. So yeah, these side videos with the other factions might be a little bit shorter than the normal ones. But that's just a way of things. When it comes to some of the quests later on, I'll show you how things might get a little bit trickier if you don't have magic at your disposal. Even though we're doing the same quests, I'll just show you how they work out a little bit differently.
I've helped Lobart.
Excellent. If Lobart is happy, then he will continue to sell his turnips to the city. Here is your pay.
Well, he'll sell his turnips, but it seems like you're just helping yourself to his sheeps anyway. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think that'll do it for tonight. If you were thinking of looting the ship as a militiaman, unfortunately, being in the militia does not give us the authority to get on board. But off-screen on my mercenary character, I did actually show you how to sneak aboard and loot the ship. It gets fussy because of the paladins patrolling, and if they get close enough to you, they're going to raise the alarm and all become hostile. The interesting thing is that they don't actually report you as a criminal, but if they knock you down, they're just going to stab you to death. So, if you manage to loot everything, but you get caught, you can make a run for it and jump off the ship, and then you'll be good to go. But they might remain hostile for the rest of time. We'll see if that comes back to bite me later. So that'll be an interesting experiment. So, for now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you kindly for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Next episode, we'll be back with the adventures of Fire Mage. And take our first steps towards the Valley of Mines and get this proof for Lord Hagen. And that should be interesting. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to follow me on Twitch. Subscribe to my stream archive channel. Links in the description below. Go join us on Discord for some assorted banter. And otherwise, have yourselves a wonderful week.
He never would have thought of that himself.